Ladies and gentlemen, it's the press today on your Pan-African television, AFRIQUE Media, who will be giving you papers from Africa and outside the continent. Our first stop will be in Zambia. We'll be looking at the Post newspaper. The paper reports that MMD chairperson for elections, Gabriel Namulambe, has advised the PF to consider quality and not quantity as they look for MMD members of parliament to work with in government. According to Namulambe, those who join politics for the purpose of serving themselves had very low levels of maturity. The paper again writes that Luapula Province MMD Vice Chairman David Chenda says party President Nevers Momba wants to get rid of Major Richard Kachingwe and using the MMD youth to champion his agenda. Visit the Post Zambia for more details. Now taking you to South Africa, we'll be looking at Business Day South Africa. The paper reports that Public Protector Thuli Madonsela has signaled out the Department of Public Works as the root cause of agriculture, forestry and fishery Minister Tina Jormat Peterson's misuse of public funds. Mr. Madonsela on Monday released the findings of a 9-month investigation into Mr. Jormat Peterson's violation of the Executive Ethics Code on travel and hotel accommodation. The paper again reports that the gold industry in South Africa will no longer exist in 5 years if conditions stay the same. Executives at Goldfields warned on Monday after lowering their production forecast for this year. Visit Business Day South Africa for more details. Now looking at this paper from Cameroon, today's edition of the newspaper writes that the First Lady Chantal Biya made an appearance last week in Yaoundé to preside over the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Peace Corporation. To many observers, it was the first time Chantal Biya was making an official outing since her return from her long stay in Europe. Read more on this story on page 3 of the newspaper. In another development, the paper writes that Ethiopian Airlines CEO Telwelde Gebremariam has been awarded African CEO of the Year from the African CEO Forum 2012. Read on page 6 of the newspaper for more details. Now taking you to Nigeria, we'll be looking at Business Day Nigeria. According to the paper, Nigerian banks' aversion to lending to the real sector is a complex problem with no easy solutions. Analysts say finding a way for banks to lend innovatively to Nigerian businesses is a hard nut to crack as the problem is multifaceted. Small and medium-sized entrepreneurs' growth is being stunted by a lack of access to financing from banks. Read more on this story on page 4 of Business Day Nigeria. The prices of rice has increased by 20% to a minimum of 9,000 naira per bag, up from 7,500 naira on the back of a new benchmark price for imported rice. Visit page 4 of Business Day Nigeria for more details. Now taking you to Asia, we'll be looking at the Wall Street Journal Asia. According to the journal, the World Health Organization's long-standing strategy for fighting tuberculosis is showing deadly unintended consequences by focusing for years on the easiest to cure patients. It helped allow TB strains to spread that are now all but untreatable by modern medicine. The WHO and a growing chorus of global health experts are now calling for a significant overhaul in the way nations with widespread drug-resistant TB combat the disease. The paper also focuses on the fact that Mark Carney, who currently runs Canada's central bank, will be the next governor of the Bank of England. This was announced on Monday by the British government in a surprise pick that underscores UK's official test for fresh blood at the powerful institution. Taking you to the United Arab Emirates, we'll be looking at the Gulf newspaper. Today's edition of Gulf newspaper writes that 10 billion dirham entertainment in Dubai, featuring 5 distinct theme parks, has been announced. The new complex, approved by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, will be located in Jebel Ali and feature theme parks based on movies, animals, and fun characters aimed at appealing at all demographics. The paper also writes that the judge in Rhode Island threw out mobile phone evidence that led to a man being charged with murder, saying the police needed a search warrant. Visit Gulf News for more details. Let's end this edition of the press today with this paper from Europe, the Wall Street Journal. The paper reports that Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak, a chief architect of Israeli defense strategy and a centric fixture in politics on Monday, announced his retirement from public life. Mr. Barak's announcement was the latest surprise to real Israeli politics in the wake of recent conflicts in Gaza and ahead of national elections planned for January 22nd. The paper also writes that McCann, a former investor banker, will become governor of the Bank of England in July. Visit the Wall Street Journal Europe for better understanding of these stories.